And would you believe me if I told you there had been a 30-degree shift in temperatures across some parts of the UK in just the last 48 hours? Amazing but true. I'll have all the details next.
Was obvious statement, incredibly cold this weekend, wasn't it?
Loved it though.
Me too.
Just so beautifully. Wake out, look out the window, Narnia. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Stunning.
And some of us, actually, we saw our coldest night of the year for 15 years on Friday night. 15 years, just trying to think about that. These were the kind of values that we were looking at their coldest. Parts of Scotland, Altnahara, minus 18.9. I mean, that is nuts if you think about it. And actually, let's try and put that in a little bit more context. We've had the most unbelievable contrast in temperatures. These values here in blue were recorded at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. And these values here were recorded at 8 o'clock this morning. Now, bearing in mind, these weren't the peak, these green temperatures here, they weren't the warmest temperatures that we had today. Altnahara has saw temperatures rising up to around 11 degrees. And that makes it a 30-degree shift in temperatures in just over 48 hours. I find that absolutely unbelievable. Let's have a look at what's going on. This is very exciting for weatherbods, you have to remember. Now, this is the picture at the moment. We've got high pressure sitting out to the east, low pressure to the west, and the warming temperatures are down to the fact we're now getting the winds in from a very warm mid-Atlantic southwesterly direction rather than from the cold north. And if we jump ahead to the end of the week, it really is a matter of spot the difference. We've still got the high towards the east, we've still got low towards the west, we've still got this relatively mild airflow, and that means just for the here and now at least, for the next 5 to 10 days at least, we've got temperatures which are around, or even, can you believe, above the seasonal average. Let's have a look now at the detail. Plenty to talk about with the weather. Certainly over the last few days, we've had some really eye-catching sort of things going on, but then I think we are moving into a calmer period. And I have to say, I'm going to rather miss the really extreme stuff.
And calm.
And calm.
And calm.
I have to apologise for my excitement. I do find this incredibly exciting. That kind of temperature shift is not something you see very often. Let's get the detail then for the next few days. And as you can see for this week, it is, of course, turning less cold, largely cloudy and mostly dry. A really quiet week of weather, in fact. We do have the risk of fog in the south as those winds fall light. The potential for a weather warning for that in place is just worth bearing in mind. So let's have a look at what's going on tonight. We've got a weakening weather system as it runs into an area of high pressure sitting towards the south of us. It really is just a band of cloud by the time we get to the end of the night. Look at these temperatures. Need to get this on a T-shirt. That would be exciting, wouldn't it? These temperatures here are warmer than we would normally expect to see during the day in mid-January. It's still cooler and clearer, though, towards the south with the risk of frost. Now, as we look ahead to the picture for Tuesday, we've still got that very weak system just kind of waggling around the central areas, and it's going to be a predominantly cloudy sort of day, largely dry. I think there will be some brightness rather than sunshine, though. Probably the best of it across eastern Scotland, maybe the far southern counties of the UK. And again, those temperatures around or above the seasonal average, certainly towards the northwest. This is above what we would normally expect to see in January. Just be calm, Rebecca. It's only temperatures. Now, looking ahead to the next few days, it is a very static sort of picture. And as I say, don't be too encouraged by this. This is actually really just brightness rather than sunny spells. So you might squeeze some sunshine in places. Temperatures slowly tailing off, but really we're back to January as usual. Hello there, very good afternoon to you. I hope you've had a lovely start to a brand new week. An extraordinary contrast in temperatures and conditions just in the last 36 or so hours across the UK. Having said that, it is a predominantly cloudy story as we moved into a brand new week. We are going to be seeing the frontal system that brought this rain slip into this sort of position across southern parts of Scotland, northern England by the time we get to the middle of the afternoon. And there's rain too across the far northern parts of Scotland. Elsewhere, further south, it is clouding over a little bit, but largely dry for you. But it's the temperatures that we're looking at. Just look at this, into double figures across northwestern areas, where overnight Friday into Saturday, many parts saw actually their coldest temperatures for 15 years. Now, as we look ahead to this evening and overnight, it does slowly start to become a largely dry picture. It's fairly cold and clear in the south. Further north, a much milder story than we've seen recently, and that milder story continues for the rest of the week. See you later.